So where did the idea for Family Guy come from?
I grew up in New England and grew up with a lot of, Peter Griffin types. And, it's a region that wasn't really exploited that much on television up to that point. I figured, well, let's do a show about New England. And I'd always been interested in animation and had wanted to do something a little different. And when The Simpsons came along and kind of reopened the door for primetime animation, I decided that's what I wanted to do.
And were you busy animating as a child? When did that start?
At about 5 years old, I remember trying to make animated films, and my parents, of course.
One of these deals?
Yeah, exactly. It's an 8mm camera, taking pictures, and my parents tried to find any information they could as to how it was done. They of course had no idea, and it wasn't until I got to college at Rhode Island School of Design that I really learned the trade.
Who's your favorite cartoon character growing up?
Boy, that's a tough one. I was always partial to Fred Flintstone, mainly because I was a big Gleason fan.
Right. And how about the first character that you actually drew?
Probably Peter. Oh! When I was a kid, my parents have some Woody Woodpeckers and Fred Flintstones from when I was about 2. I just kind of copied off the TV. They're not very good, but
Who was the hardest character to draw?
Of all of the characters, probably Stewie's difficult. Quagmire is probably the toughest to draw because he's got such a strangely shaped head, and I'm not quite sure why I designed him that way. But he's extremely difficult to draw. But Stewie would probably be second on the list.
Uh-huh. Do you have a plot that you've thought of that you just haven't been able to put down yet?
Right now the trick is to do plots that we haven't done, which is we're approaching our 100th episode, and we're it obviously gets harder to kind of not repeat yourself.
When your show was canceled initially, was that very upsetting to you? Was it a depressing time, or?
It was canceled in the nicest way possible by 20th. I mean, they made it clear that they wanted to start almost immediately working on a new pilot. That they wanted to keep me under contract, so it wasn't like they were just kicking me to the curb.
And how much time elapsed between when you got notice of that until all of a sudden this groundswell of support came, put the show back on?
It was I think close to a year and a half, and it was funny because I was, excuse me, technically still under my first contract, and it was just about to run out. And I was just about to lose my job, and then they picked up the show again. So I've had this sort of Mr. Magoo career where I seem to stumble into the right thing at the right time.
And which character can you mostly relate to personally?
Probably Brian. Probably Brian.
Why is that?
He's it's a good question. He's a dog, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with that. He enjoys a good glass of Jack Daniels.
And how was your family like growing up?
They were pretty twisted. My parents are regular viewers of the show, and I really have yet to offend them or make them uncomfortable. They're pretty twisted pair, and that's I suppose they should be credited for a lot of what is now the tone of the show.
Yeah, they're probably just accustomed to all the humor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And why do you think your show has such a wide age spread? I mean, from children, teenagers, adults.
I have no idea. There was a 75-year-old guy who lived in my hometown who said that he never missed the show every week, and I was shocked. Like, what? Is he getting the references? And I guess somehow we managed to put enough of a variety of references into the show. There's just enough Hope Crosby references to to include that bracket. But our primary audience is teens are big, but right now it's 18 to 34 males is sort of our largest demographic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hey, good to meet you.